Welcome back, everyone. It is Sunday night. It is and Pendulum on the Painted Lines. It is a live play Dungeons and Dragons podcast slash show. We are coming to you. I believe this is episode 21, which is very cool. This is a chance to see the world of Dungeons and Dragons, the theater of the mind, played every week, most weeks. Let's face it, not every week. Most weeks, though. We started this back in August 2020 during a pandemic. So we have moved a game that is normally played around a table to an online format, which has opened us up to some world-class players. Some of those players are here tonight. The group has arrived back in town after a very successful venture to the ancient library. They've discovered all sorts of things. Handuk is going to tell you everything you need to know to bring you up to speed. Handuk, let's give us a recap. Where are we at? What have we learned? Where are we going?
Well, we've learned so much in this last time in the library. So many details. Academics have delved deeply into the great books of the library. Some have learned of the origins of nations and the very origins of the troubles that haunt Benalia to this day. We also learned of a great event from long ago named the Schism, which created a great divide in the kingdoms, in the realm, leaving their place full of chaos and violence, and left entire populations in a sturgid state of predatory city-states. And in this, we found out also many things of the nation of Matria, whose hags control things with their dirty claws, and whose purpose of this nation is to bring suffering upon its very own citizens, for what I am starting to deduce. We had also, and obviously, come to see the most important gnome, perhaps in the history of the realms, the Tinkerer. After navigating through the Tinkerer's library, encountering him, and having brilliant conversations with this gnome, we were able to realize that his device, the Chronometron, is nearly complete, but yet he needs just a few more items. And yes, this book, there is a book which has the items and their locations, appearing a place that we know of at Escort College, for someone had sneaked this book and stolen this book and burglared this book out of the Library of Calthrax just before us getting there. Isn't that interesting? So, this leaves us to find back with our good captain and to sail back across the waters to the welcoming, partying shores of Broadwalk, whose streets now seem unfamiliar with these red-armored troopers milling about.
Okay, Sylvia, why don't you tell us what you found out? You've done a little reconnaissance when you've gotten back to the city. What have your sources told you?
All right, guys. Looks like while we were gone, Harboron did an invasion. Now, mind you, it didn't go well because they went to the forest and, well, that's it. There's no one knows what happened. They're just gone. Apparently, some people who were around the area at the time said there was a faint smell of chlorine in the air, but other than that, I got no information on that. But Zana Woodsplitter, she's not exactly happy that most of her army is gone. She's kind of obsessed with that. So much so that, and I gesture towards all these red armored folk, looks like they're trying to get some new recruitments for their army.
Right. Now, this city is known for being a place for rest and relaxation. People come here from far and wide. They come from the mining country. They come from the very, very crowded, very, very depressing area of Matria. They come from the farms, and they come here to relax. And yet, because there are so many young people, it looks like they are being viewed as a recruitment center. Now, I wouldn't characterize the city as under martial law, certainly not yet, but you are seeing much more military-like behavior. Most of the people in the red armor, and there are various levels of that armor, everything from just sort of a red padded jacket all the way to a full set of armor with a helmet. They are being very friendly. There's a lot of vagabonds. This is a city that attracts a lot of young people to just hang around and become quote unquote artists when they don't necessarily have any real artistic ability. And those are the type of people that are being encouraged to have a sense of purpose and vengeance for the fallen comrades. Oftentimes they may have known someone who was in that army, is being used as a recruitment tool. So for now, it's subtle. The way of life hasn't changed dramatically. But, you can sense a shift from a city that elected a mayor based on the winner of a storytelling contest once a year. This is certainly different. There's a different air in the city. Okay, so that's what you found out. You are at the docks. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna ask Tick and Zed to go find rooms at the end while the rest of us go off to speak to the rest of the town, maybe find more information. Just figure out what all we missed while we were gone, because I get the feeling we're missing quite a bit of the puzzle here.
Yes, this place is so much different than I remember it. Such a joyous place.
Should we try to go to the hall?
To where? What was that?
To like the city.
You're cutting out. The city square?
The city hall.
Yeah, there's not really a city hall. There is sort of the mayor's house off of Broadwalk Square. But this is a town that has very, very little in the way of infrastructure or laws. The most that they do really is collect money from each of the business owners to clean the streets in the morning. So they do have wagons of seawater that they spray the streets down every morning. They collect bodies. That's about as much as municipal services as they have in this city.
Well, it comes to mind for me at least that we should figure out who, if anyone in this town, is in charge of these Harborodian soldiers. Because perhaps we could come to some sort of agreement, or perhaps we could charm this captain of the guard, of this red guard, and turn these red guards to our favor, since they are not under the thumb of Zada Ribsplitter, who we know is such a violent and domineering person.
Perhaps. Trying to think.
All they want is a little revenge.
I wish to say that Olazana's mission to save her forest, it seems as if it's been granted by way of fate, and the entire Harboronian army has been dashed. But I say, what is it that dashed them, since the entire army was destroyed, but yet no army but a small number of bullywugs exist?
Well, we don't even know they were destroyed. We don't know what happened to them. No one does. I mean, if they were just killed, we'd at least have bodies.
Well, that's a deep forest.
I think the bullywugs would have ate the bodies.
They might
Don't
be-
underestimate bullywugs.
They may be pickling them.
But that doesn't explain the spell of chlorine.
Pickling
Speak
and
with the
chlorine.
Harboronians, see if they have invaded instead of just guessing.
But at least, Starchild, we can be happy now that these people, they wanted to burn the forest. Literally burn this beautiful forest down. And I promise you, Starchild, that I would not let that happen. But here they are, yet they're trying to raise another army. How stupid of them.
Okay, are you guys walking and talking, or are you just standing on the docks? With like, give me a sense of what you're.
Yeah, I think we were standing on the docks in a little circle, like whispering and arguing with each other a little bit.
Yeah, cool. All right, that's cool.
You know what? We resolve nothing from doing this. We need more information, and we need to figure out where we're going next. If we're going straight to the college or what. But for now,
We could go straight to the college.
Yes, it seems to me going to the college would be the most logical thing, even if we were not, we would be getting sidetracked dealing with these Harboronians, and it seems as if the forest is perfectly green and healthy right now. Olazana, how do you feel about this? Do you wish to return how can we return your people to their ancestral home?
Well, the first thing we would have to do is return my people, which is sometimes difficult. It's on another plane, so we need to find somebody capable of opening the rift long enough to stay there for you guys, because like I can step through the Feywild already, but y'all can't. So that is potentially a problem. But it's not like the 4 or 5 of us are going to win a war on our own. So obviously we need to practice killing dragons in order to kill the bringer of the taint, Loggerman Feller, and get my people involved and motivated to return home now that the enemy is known, so we can remove the taint to Sylvanas and basically move on after that towards.
What if you attacked with your people as Harbaron was gaining their forces and about to attack again foolishly? You attack we attack at the same time with the people and with all our power. And we catch both of these devils with their pants down.
I mean, it's possible. I think they certainly wouldn't expect the Eladrin to be involved in their war for the forest. But I just don't... I am not well versed enough in magic to bring you guys with me to go and warn them. And there's no telling if I step through that I'm even anywhere close. So it could be a long time.
Yes. In that case, we should concentrate on getting to Escort College.
Yeah, perhaps there's a scroll or something or some sort of knowledge somewhere that'll allow one of you to open up the portal so that we can get through.
Olazana, do you think they remember you from the last time?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my. That was 3 months ago. Maybe they
Oh,
forgot.
Escort College. I mean, they never really saw me.
Perhaps we could get in disguise.
The Escort College doesn't really know who I am. They like surrounded y'all. I dipped and then I went back invisible.
I
We
think
should
I
be
would
fine.
shave my beard off.
Escort College does seem the either somebody. I mean, they're building it. It's not really set up. Probably the best place would have been the Library of Calthax, but we couldn't find anything there. And but if we can get that book at Escort College, maybe the Tinkerer is able to help us. Or we do something like trippy, like go back in time to right when I came through and we go to that spot and then we go back through when I come through. Who knows? Time travel's trippy.
Yes. I think we have time on our side since at least the forest itself has not been burnt to cinders.
All right. Fine. So we're going to Escort College first. Do we need to get anything and prepare for that?
Sylvia, what do your people know of Escort College?
Very little. We're very isolated back home. Pretty isolated. Okay.
Yes, because we did not even get through the door. Mr. Pinot Noir. Does anyone remember?
We know the name of the person we're there to see now, which helps. So we can just be like, well, hey, we're here to see this person.
Well, I mean, we have the
It was like
note.
Mandrake, Manfred, Man something.
Manfred was one of them, and then the woman's name was. I'll have to scroll 1 second.
Venereal. It was
Okay, that's going to be a long trip. Maybe get some horses. Or we can see if there's a group that's already planning on traveling, see if we could go with them. Offer ourselves as extra protection.
Is there some kind of wagon train going out there or anything? Is there regular like routes and Amtrak of carts? Mr. World, is there such a thing as like cart path companies? Like transportation network of any sort?
Well, you remember when you were heading out of Escor and to Harboron, they were working on roads, and you do have a map, and that map is in front of you here.
Okay.
There are road systems that are being developed to connect these different areas. Really hard to get into the Tallwood. They're really difficult to get there, but the three primary mountain passes, there are roads to those, and you saw work crews. In fact, they were half dragons working on those roads. That was definitely a thing you saw. Now, you haven't investigated any of that yet.
Huh.
Wasn't there connecting lighthouses from Broadwalk to
No.
to the college?
No, there's a road.
Not to the college.
No.
The college is over by the mountains. You see it on the map here.
Can you see that map, Don?
Oh, I can definitely see the map.
So we need to make our way east to Escort College.
Yeah.
We should either get some horses or something
Okay.
here.
Horses, yes. Give me 10 minutes. I got my own horse. And then I go off, find some
Okay,
place, start finding my steed. I need to.
Okay, potential idea. Some of us go and secure horses and travel for the rest of us. And some of us go and, let's see, buy any other supplies we need, along with, I know I kind of curious about the whole missing army thing, so I wouldn't mind asking around, trying to get what some possible theories are.
Yeah, missing army is definitely it.
It bugs me. It bugs me a lot. People don't just disappear.
They're dead.
Can you
They
guys
must
get me
be
a
dead.
saddle when you guys get your horse?
Didn't you have a saddle already?
Can you guys get me a saddle? And no. It's complicated. But can you guys get me a saddle and a lance?
I guess I will try to procure the horses for us. Yes, I will try to find a lance for you as well, Don.
Okay, so we need horses, saddle, or just get saddles while we're at that. A lance. This trip is, we'll probably want to grab some rations just in case, and any other supplies.
How about I meet you at the Mountain Mule at 6 p.m. at the sunset?
Okay, how about, so I'll go off, try to get some more information and theories. You're getting horses. Anyone want to go get supplies and anything else, or just go off with one of us?
I'm
busy
not
for 10
certain I
minutes.
need anything. I might need. No, I don't think there's anything that we're likely to be able to buy at a store that I need.
Okay, then.
Okay, you can get whatever you need at a store. Let's fast forward through that.
Okay.
So he's got a lance, he's got a saddle. How much did it cost this guy?
It costs whatever it costs. You guys aren't you're no longer in the hand to mouth economics of the world. You have gems, you have gold, you have enough things to make it work.
I get everybody a horse, and then I get one horse extra just in case something happens to one of our horses.
Okay, and you're meeting at the Mounted Mule?
Yeah.
Okay. The Mounted Mule.
And I get Don Caballero Lance.
Yeah. I took 250 gold out of our coffers.
Okay.
Okay, you get to the Mounted Mule. There's a stage. You've been here before. This is a place some of you may recall. People tell stories here. There are performances. There's in fact, there's a performer on stage now. There's an innkeeper. The food is good here. It's expensive. You guys remember how expensive this place seemed to you months ago. It felt like this was a city that was too expensive to even stay a night in. 2 gold pieces a night. You've changed. Obviously, things have changed. Your fortunes have changed. You can now afford to eat in a place like this, even sleep in a place like this. So there you are. You're in the Mounted Mule. It's fairly early still, so not a lot of people here. But the bartender is there. The service is great. There's a singer on stage. So who's going here first? Are all of you going here, or just a couple?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're all going.
All right. You're here.
I'm gonna go up to the bartender and just kind of chat with him, make small talk, bring up the recent vanishing army, see if he's heard any cool stories about that. People always talk to bartenders. He might know some obscure theories or ideas.
Yeah, he looks around. He sees there's a guy at the end of the bar. The guy's got a little red patch. And he looks at him, and then he looks at you, and he says, "Yeah, it was terrible. I mean, I can't think of anything worse. I heard there were thousands of people that just died. I mean, we assume they're dead. You know, I can only assume they went into the forest and they just never came out. And it's like I knew some of these people. It's really, really horrific."
Hey, there's at least the benefit of no one's found any bodies yet, so there's still hope that, who knows, maybe weird magic things happen. Maybe they're just not in the forest anymore, and they can't get home.
Well, there is talk. I mean, there are some people that terrible people that would say that maybe they just escaped. You know, that they were forced to be in the army. I don't believe it. I knew some of these people. They were good kids, you know, and they were doing a job. You know, they were doing a job. The world needs wood. The world needs wood, and yeah, these were hardworking boys. They were miners. They'd work underground. They'd sweat and toil. There's no way that they would have escaped into the forest. So I just don't believe it. And you hear the stories of the smells. It's really horrific.
Yeah, someone mentioned something about chlorine. Is that right? Or am I mixing that up with something else?
Yeah, something like that. Like a cleaning product, like something terrible, noxious smell. Pretty terrible.
Mm.
You see, they're starting to. More people are starting to come in. More guys with red patches / red padded armor. Guy down at the end of the bar with the red patch makes eye contact with Don. He says, I can see you make your living, an honest living, huh?
Oh yeah, very honest.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah.
look honest. So what do you think about all this? Pretty terrible, isn't it?
It is terrible. You guys need a revenge.
It's,
Vengeance is yours, says Alvith. And then he shot that man in the friggin' face.
I think it's time to put all these kids with nothing else to do. I think it's time to give them some purpose in life. Give them a place to direct some of their sort of uncontrolled, life. They escape
But
Matria.
you need to.
Yeah, we need to what?
You need to feed them hate. Feed them hate in their soul and make them want to fight. Make them want to grab what is rightfully theirs and get their revenge for their lot in life. That is what you guys need to do. You guys need to get out and recruit. Get these young men. Get them angry. Get them angry. Get the young women ready to fight. Ready to join you or send their men out. Shame them into coming with you.
We're trying, man. We're trying. How about you? You interested? Why don't you sound like exactly the kind of guy we need. That sounds exactly like what we need.
Don't worry. I'm definitely on your side, but I have my own mission in life. Say, brother, have you heard the word of Alvis?
Tell me all about it.
All right, I start preaching Alvis to him.
Preach it then.
About how I'm not going to preach it.
All right. You don't preach
I can't
it.
preach it.
Okay, any of the rest of you doing anything?
I'm just sort of listening to Sylvia. I know that these townsfolk are more her scene, and she's much more capable in the town than I am, especially this particular town. So,
Yeah, I'm giving anyone who looks at me a gentle smile and kind of a dumb nod, and I'm petting the red velvet and looking at it and appreciating it and making sounds like nice.
The bartender says, "You like that? We've remodeled in here. Yeah, we're trying to go with more of a red theme. People seem to like it. They really seem to like it.
Yes, it's very sultry and warming. We've been at sea for many months, and I tell you, your hospitality is very kind. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And at sea, you don't look at like fishermen at all.
We're travelers.
Travelers.
Yes, we've traveled many, many, many miles. Yes. I hear many bad things have happened here. It's so sad to hear the loss of life. Tell me, what have you heard of the land of Matria the last few months while my travels have been occurring?
Matria.
Yeah, what news have you?
Well, not much news. I mean, you know how it is. Constant stream of young people trying to get out of there. Nobody wants to stay in Matria, obviously. Nobody wants to stay there. Everybody young's trying to get out, come here, make a life for themselves. Most of them end up in Harboron. You know how it goes.
Yes. I was once very closely a close neighbor of the Matrians, shall we say. You know what is an interesting place to me is this place, Escort College. What a place. I mean, the architecture is simply amazing there.
Yeah, I heard they just finished the place. I know that they there's been a couple of people have said they're going there. I hear it's complete, but I haven't been there. Obviously, I don't get much time away. It's been really busy lately, especially with all the recruitment. Business has been great. Honestly, business has been great.
Well, but have you heard about the how Escort College turned their backs on the brave Harboronian troops when they needed rations and food?
Have I heard that?
No, that's something I heard. Somebody was saying this at the docks. A man was quite upset because apparently these people at Escort College would not allow some of these troops apparently survived this attack, and they went to Escort College in great need and were left on the doorstep to die.
He looks over at the guy with the patch. The guy with the patch shrugs, and he says, "No, I hadn't heard that. I hadn't heard that.
I heard the same thing."
Actually, they are not very nice to people. Even when you're in time of desperate need. I once went there and my leg was half ripped off from a gnoll attack. Have you heard of these gnolls that live on the frontier there? My leg was almost completely severed from my body, and they would not let me in. Very, very rude. They were actually playing music. It reminds me of a tale of sirens sweetly singing to sailors as they crash their boats into the rocks. But that was my experience, and I just would love to know why they can't be just nice to the rest of the world.
I have not heard these sorts of things. I do know about the gnolls. I've heard that they've improved the roads. Intermodal has really improved the roads. Road safety is a big thing. Traveling speed is a big thing. The roads are. I mean, if you've been out there, you know that those roads, from what I've heard anyway, they were full of ruts. They had these terrible, these rainstorms that would just make it impassable, super muddy. They've, as far as I've heard, they've completely fixed the roads so you can travel. They've cut the travel time. You can go 3 times as fast between here and Harboron. And it's all because of those roads. But the other thing they've done is they've made those roads safer, because I know that those gnolls, I've heard these stories about those gnolls, terrible gnolls and brigands.
Do you know they actually cackle and giggle at you while they're biting you?
I've heard so many terrible things. I wonder if those gnolls are in that forest.
They often attack the genitalia of the enemies.
What?
Yes, you didn't know that's about gnolls?
No.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Oh, they come right for your genitalia. They're going to take, they're very nasty animals.
I don't know about
They're
any of that.
vast,
I've heard bad things about the gnolls. He looks over at the guy with the patch, and the guy with the patch shrugs, takes another drink.
I say, how do I get one of these red patches? I wish to support the poor loss of life as well.
You'd like to sign up? Sign up for the army?
I'm too old to sign up, but I'd like to just show my support.
Yeah, I don't know how we could use you, he says from the corner.
I'm pretty old.
I don't know. You might be better off just sort of relaxing, fella.
How about I buy you a round of the drinks that you've chosen here? I'm gonna buy them a round, and I ask Olazan for the money.
Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna whisper to Sylvia to see if she can find out if there's a wizard around.
And I go back to petting the velvet couches and looking at them and appreciating them.
Okay. I'm gonna glance around, see if I notice any magic users. And I'd also like to keep an eye out to see if anyone was kind of disgruntled or seems upset with all the red, all the soldiers, or anyone who's sympathizing with them. Like when we bought the round, did anyone just kind of, oh, okay, so you're supporting this kind of thing?
Yeah, so you see up near the stage, are you doing any like special detect magic or anything like that?
Let's see. What do I? Well, I would, but I don't have that apparently.
All right,
Nope.
you look up near the stage. There's certainly a few people that look uncommonly talented. Let's say that, sitting at a table.
Ah, okay.
That's the best way I could describe them.
Hmm.
There is a mountain dwarf, a rock gnome, a wood elf, and a human. And they're sitting and they are listening intently and very supportive of the elf who is on stage singing.
Okay. I will get a drink and I will approach them. Hi, is that your friend up there? She's very good.
That is our friend. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. Just made it back from a little trip with friends. Thought it'd be a good idea to relax and... Ugh. This town is not what I was expecting.
Where'd you go? That sounds fun.
Well, it's not really people I met. It was a group that my friend had met, but she didn't want to go. But they apparently wanted to visit some old library. I don't know. So we went on a trip, and honestly, we just got lost. We never even actually made it.
You never made it?
Nah.
Well, that seems unfortunate.
Yeah, we got like halfway there. There were storms, and they just realized this whole idea was ridiculous. Turned around. But hey, I still got paid for going along helping them, so that's something.
Well, I guess if you're okay with making money for not delivering anything, that's fine. He turns away, goes back to looking at the stage.
Okay.
They're talking to each other, enjoying themselves, laughing.
Okay.
Very supportive.
Has she performed here often? I feel like I may have seen her here before.
Belle? No, this is her first time. She's pretty awesome, isn't she?
Oh, she's amazing. Is she self-taught? Did someone teach her this, or?
Well, I don't know. We met Belle a few months ago. She just won us over right away. She's amazing. We've seen her. Trust me, it goes more than just music. It's pretty amazing. We've done some really cool things together. Well, I don't want to spill any secrets, but we've had some adventures. Let's say that.
Oh, you can't just leave it at that.
Well, I mean, let's like your library trip. You know, we've had some adventures, and we'll leave it at that. Just like your library trip. She finishes and steps down. Everybody hugs her. She steps down. She's sweating. Takes takes a seat. She says hello to you, and a round of drinks show up from the server.
That was a wonderful performance up there.
Oh my gosh, thank you. It's
That's amazing. Yes.
it is oof, what a rush. I miss being there aren't many people in here yet. I'm gonna do more later, but whew, it's just a rush to perform in front of people, you know? It's like being back in a city is amazing. We've been out on the road so long. But anyway, thank you so much. Thank you.
What is your name?
My name?
Yes, your music is like, it's amazing, and the dancing you do at the same time. How does your mind do all these things at once?
There's a rock gnome sitting down. He says, "This is the famous Belvoka. She's amazing. Obviously, look at. I mean, you saw it, right? You saw it. We all saw it. I mean, she's amazing.
Yes.
Wait until you see the other stuff. It's incredible. It's amazing. This is Belvoka, and oh my gosh, you know, we hear it around the campfire. There's one thing when you hear it around the campfire, there's an intimacy to it. But then when you see her on stage, fully in bloom in front of everyone, it's like a whole different thing. This is our first time that we've been able to see her perform in front of people, and it's incredible. I can't even imagine the what she's feeling, because I'm feeling so much energy in it, and there's an excitement. But her name is Belvoka.
And what's your name, excitable gnome?
My name is
I'm ready.
The short version. You're a human. I see you're a human. So I'll give you the human version. Dazzle Burst Apart.
Dazzle? What a wonderful name.
And your name, sir? What is your name?
I am Han Duke.
Han Duke. Very nice. Anything else?
Yes. What? Have you traveled in this area recently?
Well, I've been here before. I mean, throughout the years, I spent most of my time up north. But I have a little bit, yes.
Let me ask you, have you heard of the rumor of Escort College rejecting the brave and desperate soldiers of Harberon? Have you heard about them rejecting the survivors of this attack?
Another guy, he is a human, and he looks over and he's got a green robe on, and he says, "We really, no offense, Handuk, but we really try to stay out of politics, honestly."
Yes, but politics are so important, my friend.
Yes, but they're important, but you know, they're we try to stay out of them.
I understand. It's just
I'm
so saddened.
I know we're in a tavern.
Yes.
I get it. People start drinking. Next thing you know, people start arguing. But
I just feel so bad about the red soldiers who gave their very blood that was red.
We listen. We've been to Harberon, and I'm sure.
What do you think about
I'm sure we met people that died in that forest, but for me, you know, I come from the forest, not that one, but you know, a lot of bad things can happen when you get city folk and you put them in the country. A lot of stuff can happen. You know, I feel for them, but I just don't.
I start laughing.
You're
right.
We tend to try to stay out of politics. We just
Oh, you've said enough.
yeah.
What's your name anyway?
My name is Solus Chrono.
Solos?
Solus Chrono. Nice to meet you. Very nice to meet you.
It's really nice to meet you.
It's very nice to meet you.
I'm writing a book, Solus. Did you know that?
Oh, yeah? What is the
Yes.
book? Tell me.
It actually doesn't have a name. It has a symbol.
Oh, very nice.
It would be my third book that I've written, Solus.
Wow. Very impressive.
Yes.
Very, very, very impressive.
You know, I know a thing or two about books, Solus, and
Yeah.
I noticed that you knew that we went to the library.
No, I don't think that's true. I think your friend here was talking to my friend over here, Gully, and she said that she didn't go to the library. Is that true? I thought you said you were trying to go to the library.
Well, your friend said that we did go to the library. And I just want to make it perfectly clear that we tried to make it to the library, but we're waiting.
The
the
mountain dwarf sort of looks over and he clears his throat. He says, "Listen, I said we didn't do anything special, just like you didn't go to the library. So your story is you were going to go to a library, but you didn't make it. Our story is we were going to do some adventuring, but nothing really happened."
Yes. As Bella Boca is just a simple singer.
Nothing simple about her.
Well, no, not simple. I mean, a beautiful singer.
She stands up and says, "Okay, all right. I think I'm gonna do another song. We're starting to, and place is filling up now. There's probably 60 to 80 people in there." And she says, I think I'm gonna do a couple more. You guys have a nice one. Next round on us. Feel free, hang out."
Well, that's very generous of you. Break a leg.
Well, these guys are obviously some kind of adventuring party.
Slash.
And they're very threatening to me for some reason.
Yeah,
Are you guys stepping away from that table? Or are you staying with them?
I'm stepping away, just kind of listening to the song and just observing the rest of the patrons now, paying attention to their reactions.
I'll hang out with them and just observe. I'm a pretty good observer. I'm a pretty horrible reasoner.
Okay.
Yeah, I slowly back walk away from the table.
Yeah, I'll back away.
I stay close to Don Caballero.
Okay.
So what are we gonna do, man?
You guys step back towards the bar, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're obviously rivals. They got really secretive. I
Yeah,
don't
they're
trust
real-
the elf.
They've heard of us somehow, though.
No,
Oh, I mean,
I was making small talk, and obviously you don't want to stay where we've been. That just seemed like a bad idea. So I said we were trying to get to the library, and we failed, and apparently that was the wrong
Oh,
move
you're a
on my part.
burglar. Can't you lie in a different way?
Oh, this burglar nonsense again.
I think I kind of blew it last.
That was a good nap I had. Glad I went off and got that room, guys. How's it been down here in this? Oh, this lady, she's really a good singer. Good to hear her voice.
She is
The
a good
bartender-
singer, but she's shady.
The bartender leans forward and says, "So you met the Cezanne, huh?"
Cezanne?
That group down front. They've been in town a couple of days.
They're named after crappy, weak beer.
Don, how many beers did you drink while you were listening to this? Because you shouldn't say things in public.
I have not drank any beer.
What's
I've
the
drank the
Cezanne?
Holy Spirit Valvis.
The guy with the red patch leans over and he says, I heard they killed a giant.
A giant.
That's what I heard.
What kind of giant? Was
Are
it
there
one of them
different
simple
kinds of
giants?
giants? Hold on, are there different kinds of giants?
There's the simple giants, and then there's the giants that are even bigger than the simple giants, who can actually do man-type things. They're quite scary.
His eyes get wide. He's like, I don't know what kind of giants. I just heard they killed a giant. I don't know. Like, weird. Dude, I don't know. I really don't.
Oh,
He goes back to
have you heard
he
where?
goes back to looking into his mead.
Sir, do you know where they killed the giant? Now I'm curious, because no
I-
giant is an easy feat.
It's just a rumor that I heard. I mean, that's just what I heard.
And you said their name is the Cezanne?
The bartender says, "Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, that's what they call themselves, or that's what they're called."
Huh. I wonder if they were given that name for a reason. Curious. Thank you, bartender. I appreciate that.
Yeah, when they first showed up, I thought they were a band, but they're not a band. Only one of them does music. I thought they were, maybe the rest of them were her protection, but I don't know. But they got a reputation from what I've heard.
What sort of reputation would that be? If you don't mind.
Well, I mean, like our friend over here said, I heard they killed a giant. Now, listen, it's not the kind of thing we talk about in here. We had a guy, oh gosh, 6 months ago or so, was in here talking about having killed a dragon, and told this whole story about killing a dragon. I didn't personally think it was true. It sounded really like, I don't even think there are dragons. But the guy's in here talking about he's the only one that survived this fight with a dragon. All of his other friends died, but he came out victorious. And he flashed a something. He said it was a dragon scale. But that next morning he wound up dead. So, people have learned to not tell. There's a level of storytelling in this town that you can get away with. And then there's another level where people don't whisper it. They don't say it too loud. But from what I heard, and it wasn't from any of them directly, but from what I heard, they killed a giant. I've never even seen a giant. Have you seen it? Are they real? I don't even know. Is that a real thing? Like, was it just a really tall dude? I don't know.
They're real.
They're real?
Yeah. In my time, I've seen some pretty strange things, so I wouldn't discount a giant, sir bartender.
Well, that's crazy then. I heard they have like giants at on that construction crew. You guys were talking about the college, right? That they just finished?
Yeah, escort college.
Yeah, but I don't think they were really giants. They were like half ogres or something. They were big, but I don't think they were real. So maybe they just killed one of those half ogres. I don't know.
You said escort college is finished now, yeah?
Yeah, it's complete. Yeah,
Complete.
yeah, we heard it's complete.
What do you know about it? You hear anything good about it?
Yeah, we were. Your friends here were asking earlier. I haven't heard much other than it's complete, and some of the we got a lot of people who think they're artists, and obviously we have a sort of a free night where anybody can go up on stage and perform. We get a lot of bad performers, a lot of them. There's a lot of people that come from Matria here and think they're going to be performers. And they're just not good. But some of the good ones we've heard we're leaving for there. So we have heard some stories now that it's finished that some of the good artists, craftsmen, especially over the last month, a lot of the woodworking people and the stone workers, the what do you call somebody who works with stone and they create like statues? What do you call that person?
Like a stonemason or a sculptor?
Sculptor. So a few of those left, just for the final touches. But I haven't heard anybody come back to say much about the place. But it seems like the few talented people we have are going there. So it's interesting.
You said that somebody was telling a story about killing a dragon?
Months ago, some guy in here, big yellow-haired guy, he told a whole story about it. How all of his friends died, he survived, killed a dragon. He showed this shiny thing. It could have been anything. It could have been like part of a plate, for all I know.
What color was it?
What color was the? Let me think back to that. What color was
supposed dragon scale?
Yeah, I think it was like, it was shiny, but it was like black, maybe, or like purple-ish.
Do you remember how he said he killed the dragon?
I don't remember. I just remember him telling the story and winding up dead the next morning.
Dead?
Hey,
Who killed him?
I heard
nobody
some
showed up.
people call that guy a hero.
A hero? Yeah. Some might call him a hero. I mean, if it's true, I'd probably call him a liar. Probably more like it. Seems like a bit much. I'm all for a good story. I love a good story in here, and I look, if you can come up and you can make me laugh and you can tell a good story, it's great. But there are some people in here, if you flash a little bit too much success, let's put it that way, a little too much success, it can be dangerous in a town like this.
What sorts of stories get told?
Well, as you know, we have the storytelling contest that's baked into our culture here. The best storyteller every year becomes mayor. I'm not sure if we'll have a storytelling contest this year, though. With all of the troubles, it'll be interesting to see. I think, I've heard whispers, and he looks over at the guy with the patch, that maybe people were trying to have a little less fun. Maybe they think a little too much fun is had in this town. I personally think fun is fun, but I think people are they're taking this Tallwood situation very seriously, and a lot of people died. It is a tragedy. A lot of people died. So we'll see if they have a contest this year. I just don't know.
What have you heard about what happened in the Tallwoods?
Well, I told you. You asked me that 15 minutes ago, fellas.
I probably asked somebody else about that.
Should I dial it back, water it down a little bit, maybe?
Sorry, I thought we were talking
been on the high seas a little too much.
Maybe. I thought that was somebody else that Sylvia was talking to.
Yeah. You see the performer Belvoca sit down again, and music stops.
Hey, bartender, would you happen to know what the pretty lady that's been singing on the stage has been drinking all night?
Well, she's an elf, so we actually, they gave us a heads up that they were coming to town, so we had to get in some of the best. It's actually this raspberry wine from this farm to the east of here, right near the mountains, right in the foothills. There's this winery, and we got this raspberry wine, and apparently that's what she prefers. So
Raspberry wine is good.
A little sweet for my taste, personally. But that's me. I'm not an elf. I have nothing against elves. I see you're an elf. So nothing against it. A little sweet for my taste.
It's a bit tangy.
See, I would argue that that's the only good thing about it. Other than that, it's a little too sweet for me.
So, I would like to buy a drink for her, please. Actually.
Sure thing. I'll send it over. Although that's part of their her performance fee is that her and her friends are drinking for free. But you feel free to tip me. Feel free to tip me. I won't argue with you. I don't want to take your money and tell you that I'm giving them something that they're already going to get for free. But if you wanted to, donate to the house, I mean, this new renovation we've done, this new remodel. Do you like the red, by the way? Do you like the red?
I love it. It looks really nice. Almost the color of raspberry wine.
It is not related to the raspberry wine, but we saw so many of the Red Guard come in to town since the invasion. We thought this would really sort of pop for them, and we think we're pretty happy with it. We really are. We're really happy with it.
Yeah, I really like it. Like a lot. I'm gonna. Hey, Sylvia. Quietly, I'll say to her sideways. Do you kind of want to ask that girl if she knows anything about Escort?
I could try, but I'm not sure how well I can integrate myself with the group now.
I mean,
I think I kind of blew it when they asked about where we've been, and I didn't tell them, so they don't seem like they're willing to tell us much of anything.
Oh, well, I think maybe I want to inquire of her singing. She had to have learned something somewhere. And since, we need to make our way to Escort ourselves, I kind of maybe I wonder if she knows anything about it, or if she's familiar with it.
The server comes up and he says to the bartender, so they want to put in another food order. Gully, he wants a full mutton chop leg, full leg of mutton. The gnome wants a bunch of potatoes, just a mountain of potato. He said just like fill up a whole plate with potatoes. I don't know why. The tracker, the wood elf wants it's very odd. He wants 3 slices of apricot, 1/4 of a kale head, and just a sliver of cheese. And I don't exactly know what he means by sliver, but he said you'd know. And the singer, she's fine. But we may need to get her some more water. She's out of breath and sweating.
That's a very interesting dinner they're having. She should eat though. That's not good on her. Or at least some hot tea for her pipes.
Poison them.
Oh gosh.
No, but the fact that she's not eating is weird, and that's setting certain alarm bells off.
Okay, so are you going back over to their table or no? So yes or no?
I'm not.
What do you say, Sylvia, buddy? Want to go over there with me? No? No, friendo? We don't want to go? All right, I guess.
I'm rather uncomfortable around this party, Tick. I tell you, they just simply aren't going for my jokes. And this person in the green, this human, I have some of their names, though.
You see him stand up, actually, when you mention him. And he looks at you and he walks over. And he says, hey, your name's Handuk, right?
Yes.
So you mentioned Matria?
Yes.
What's the story with that?
It is not what it seems.
What do you mean? Would you guys mind joining us for dinner? We just ordered food. Would you like to join us?
You know what? That actually sounds like a great idea. I heard you got some good raspberry wine over there.
We do. I'm sure we'd share a glass. Why not?
Well, I don't, but it's a good.
I'm sure Belle, she's great. Of course, she will share. For me personally, it's a little sweet. So just having someone else who enjoys it probably would be. She'd probably love that. Come on over. Let's put some tables together and we'll have a meal. We'll break bread.
I think that sounds nice to me.
Come on, Handuk. I'll take my hand. I'll extend my hand towards you. My small English hand.
Come.
All right, the place is full. So the server's sort of scrambling with this request. So they actually get 2 tables and put them on the stage, and they get seats for everyone. And they bring out, food for all of you. There's 8 or 10 of you now sitting around a table, and you've got wine, you've got water, you've got mead, you've got ale, whatever you guys want to eat.
And we have the brightest star in the whole universe at the table on the stage, Olazana the Star Child.
What? No.
Lizana,
Yes.
you identify with Gully, who has a very similar sort of bearing as you. You can sort of sense that, like that. Wait, you're a ranger, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, the wood elf tracker.
Yeah.
You can sort of see just the way some of some of the accessories, smaller. It's a wood elf. Tracker is a wood elf, but very similar. You get this sense that this is a person who shares a similar skill set as you.
Okay, so I'd like to, if I'm able to sit near him, then speak to him in Elvish and
Sure.
ask him where he's from.
Well, I originally I'm from Esmeralda. I left in the Great Migration, but I couldn't. I was just restless in the Feywild, and there's just something that keeps me wanting to come back. I don't know, and help.
When was the last time you were home?
Home, or in the Feywild?
Okay, well,
Months. We've been out mostly up north for the last few months, and but I was home not long before I met these folks. Yeah. It's just the thing. There's the thing with like the Feywild is wild, and yet it's not real enough. You know what I mean? Like I need like that dirt, right? I need to feel like dirt under my fingernails, and I need to feel real moss versus like the idea of moss. Does that make sense to you?
of course. I understand many of the people feel that way.
Yeah. So,
If you had to get home, how would you get there?
well, have you not been there for a while?
No, the one who I was with, who would have been able to take me home,
Yeah.
I sent him ahead a long time ago, but I have further news about the taint and who caused it and who drove us from our home
So you
that
feel
I think the queen needs to hear.
the king.
I work for his wife.
I see. So you must feel really disconnected from home. I think that's. Yeah, I can understand that for sure.
These people are very strange to me.
So the way that I get there is there's a portal at the lighthouse in Socotra. That's the way that I get there.
Thank you. I'll look into that.
Of course.
When was the last time you were in Esmeralda?
When I was a child. How about you? Have you been back there?
Recently, yes.
Really?
Yeah, it was several weeks ago, before the Harboranians invaded.
What was it like?
Tainted.
I can imagine.
The taint remains. The forest is still unhealthy.
Did they ever figure out what happened?
Their worst.
I mean, does anyone know what happened?
Yes, that's the news I have for the queen.
I mean, you can tell me. I'm like, who am I going to tell?
You're welcome to come with us.
Yeah, we're yeah, I'm not quite ready to do that. We've got this other thing. So let me ask you, what do you know about Matria?
I know many things about Matria. Handuk is from there. We've only been through it twice.
All right, cut to Handuk. You are talking with Solus Chrono. He's asking you about Matria.
Yes, we have quite a sophisticated system of collecting urine and feces into large ponds, in which we distill the liquids using a large solar-powered and basically a heat reflector to purify some of this material, and then we use it as fertilizer for the animal grades. It's a very efficient system to support so many people. You have to understand, Solus. We've had to take certain degradations to the quality of things in order to have the quantity of things there. This is the Matrian way.
Don't you feel like people need space?
Yes, definitely.
So what we've heard is that they're trying to cut down that forest to make space for these people. Is that true?
Yes, I think yes, definitely. The thing is, they have no means of doing it. I mean, there is not a weaker military nation. They have no military. Their only defense, I would say, is that the stinking cesspool that it is totally worthless, more or less, unless you are trying to capture all their cesspools. I mean, this is the reward of invading Matria. People live for a very long time in very squalor conditions, but yet there is nothing really to be gained in attacking Matria. But yet they have no power to take the woods from anyone.
Everything I've heard from everyone, we've been here for days now, and everything I've heard is just miserable. Like, it sounds terrible there. I think we're heading there after this, and just kind of see it for ourselves, I think.
Yes.
Sounds terrible.
Which way are you going? Will you take the Via Ferrata or the coastal route?
I haven't thought. Do you have a recommendation? Because we haven't really thought that far ahead.
Well, since the Via Ferrata, I would say, would place you closer to the last battle with these Harboronians and whatever had made them all disappear suddenly, would put you closer to that area, and the sea journey would take you much longer, obviously, because you have to go all the way out there and then come back in.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna wade into the politics with the whole Harboron thing.
I would take the Via Ferrata.
Yeah. Okay. It's good to know. Appreciate it.
Yes. So where are you going? You're going to go to Matria, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, we are. That's the plan. We're going to be here a couple more nights. Maybe. I don't know. It's the plan was for Belle to do a week here. Just sort of get her scratch that itch, that performance itch. We were in Harboron before this performing. She was performing there, and it's just kind of depressing there because they had this huge arena, but they just don't really have anyone there anymore. There's a couple hundred people. You're performing in a huge place, whereas here, there's only 60 people. But look at 60, 80 people, but there's an energy to this place.
Yes.
So it's just that we went there thinking it would be this huge crowd, and there just wasn't the people, you know. And everybody's got a story about why they didn't go to the invasion. So you always feel like everyone's making excuses for why they're alive. It's like it's total survivor guilt. It's really just depressing right now.
I can tell you that Harburn is Matria, at least there is some joy behind the face of a dirty child who is eating less calories than he needs per day, but yet there is something noble about the struggle. In Harboron, and I say this quietly, very quietly, there is no joy in Harboron. And I tell you this. I want to ask you a question, Solus. Are you a dilettante or a groupie? Ha ha!
Sir, I really don't want to be disrespectful to my elders.
That's a joke.
Please.
Please, let me joke around with you, child.
Okay. All right.
No, I think your friend Bellavoca is amazing, and I wish you all the best on your journeys. And listen, I show him the book, and it's basically all about astronomy.
Oh. Yeah, he loves it. You know, as a druid, he spent many a night. He tells you many a night just staring up at the stars, and he's fascinated with it. And he goes and just reads as much as you'll let him read.
Yeah, it's like orbital dynamics.
All right, let's cut to who's talking around the table next.
Pick someone.
I'll talk to this Wood Elf further about so there's more to what meets the eye with the Mothers of Matria than you'd expect.
What do you mean?
My friend actually has forsaken their bonds to Matria and left their church. The mothers prey on the souls there.
Wait, what did you just say? Hold on. What did you just say?
The mothers, right? You familiar?
Well, yeah, we've heard it. We've heard of these mothers.
They're
That's
mining-
kind of why we're going down there.
They're
Be
mining
careful.
us for information, guys. They're mining us for information, guys.
Yeah,
and they
I
have
think
a
at this
connection.
point I'm gonna raise a
Yes,
hand.
we
What?
Do y'all
Hold
speak
on,
English?
hold on.
Y'all speak
Hold on,
Elvish?
Ah.
Y'all speak Elvish all of a sudden?
I don't.
No, none of us.
Yeah. See?
Exactly.
Why don't we cut to another conversation? Sylvia, what are you talking about? Who are you talking to, and what about?
Trying to think. I think I've just kind of been sitting and listening to everyone talk.
Okay.
And
You've got an elvish conversation on one side. You've got two humans on the other side. Tick, what are you doing?
I want to talk to Bella, right? That's her name?
Bell Boca, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Her friends call her Bell.
Belle. There we go. Kind of want to talk to her about her singing, and I want to know where she learned, because she's really good. She's really, really good. She's very charming. I appreciate her charm a lot.
She is very charming, and she says, "Oh, thank you so much. You know, I was actually raised here in Broadwalk, and I come from a long line of singers, and my father was actually a world-class lute player. So when the Great Migration happened from Esmeralda, he was actually here as a lute player. So I credit him for really everything I know, honestly, And I've had many great teachers over the years, over the centuries, honestly. But, he's still my inspiration, and he's still my primary teacher. I wish I could become as good at the lute as he is. I think I'm more of a singer. But yeah, that's my story. How about you? What's your story?
Well, so I like to make things, tinker around a little bit here and there. I was raised up by some other tinkerers.
Nice.
That's really it. It's a very very boring story. Not really too much of an exciting individual. Just a gnome, doing gnome things with my gnome hands, because that's just what we do. Chill with the gnomies,
Well, no one knows better than me. Dazzle is like actually my best friend. I mean, he is just the best. He's got so much energy. He picks me up every time every time it's time to go to a new city. He's the wind beneath my wings. He's got such energy. Gnomes, I love them so much.
That's very pleasing to hear. So, Belle, your friends call you Belle. Is it okay if I call you Belle? I think we're pretty
friends. Of
Sure.
course.
All right.
I hope we become friends.
So you said your father, he was world class. What was his name by chance? Wonder if I've heard of him in my travels along the way.
Well, it's a very interesting question, because I don't, a very interesting question. So let me try to translate it into human common. What did they call him? Hieronymus? Hieronymus is what they called him. Here, that was his stage name. And the Elvish name is, obviously a variation on that. But as far as you're concerned, Hieronymus.
Hieronymus. That sounds like a very captivating name. Say, in your travels as a singer, as well as you do, I'm sure you've heard of Escort College, right?
We heard it was complete. We heard it was being turned into like a artist colony, artist community. We haven't been there yet.
You haven't been there yet?
No, we were up north. So from what I've heard, and just being here the last few days, is that it just got completed. But yeah, we definitely want to check it out for sure. I mean, obviously I do. The other folks not as interested in that. But I definitely, it seems like a place I'd enjoy. Maybe they're worried I'd enjoy it too much.
It sounds like a wonderful place. I'm curious to check it out as well. I think I'll convince my friends to make a stop along our travels as well. I heard they have a really nice library there, and I love to read. I love books. I love to educate myself. Speaking of educating myself, you said you were up north. What part?
In the Fjordlands? Have you been up there?
I haven't, but I've heard a little bit about it. How was it?
I think we have a map here. Let me show you sort of where we were. It was very interesting up there. But yeah, the Fjordlands up north. So it's like it's very rocky, extremely hilly. But the water is so blue. I've never seen water so blue, honestly, ever.
Blue, super blue water. I bet it's beautiful. What kinds of things did you run into up there? I've heard some interesting stories of what lives in the Fjordlands.
Oh yeah, what did you hear?
Well, along our travels, one time came across this map also that mentioned, I think, dragons or something. I don't know. It could have been wrong. Could have been right.
We didn't see any dragons.
Well, that's good because they're
We did not see, but we've heard the same stories, though. I will say, we've heard there's a dragon up there. But actually, there's two from what we've heard. Is that there are two dragons in the Fjordlands, but we did not see them, which is probably good. I don't know if it's the kind of thing you want to really run into.
Yeah, I am not really too interested in hanging out with dragons. They're a little bit bigger than me, and not really about things like that. So this is a pretty nice map you have here, friend. Good cartography. This lighthouse here on your map.
Yeah, we did. We went there. That was interesting.
Interesting. How so?
She looks over at Dazzle and she says, she leans in and they whisper to each other. And he sort of shrugs and then nods. So she says to you, there is like a, I mean, you guys have been around, right? You've been around. Like, can we talk?
Yeah, we've been around.
You've been around, right?
Yeah.
There's like elemental forces. Like we had to go through these elements, elementals. Yeah, and but we were able to get to that lighthouse, and it does have a portal at the top. From what we're learning is the lighthouses have portals. Yeah, this is one of them.
I'd like to take out my notebook as she talks about this to me. And I'm going to open it to the page where I like sketched out the room that we were in at Calfax.
Okay.
I'm going to flip it around to her and ask her if it looks the elemental and then like the symbols in the lighthouse on the control panel look similar to those.
Yes. She's like, were you there?
Not that particular one, but
You've been to one.
Have seen one. Yeah, I have.
Wow.
But I'm happy to know there are more that exist.
Yeah, we couldn't get it to work. That's the thing, is we couldn't get it to work. But it, like, Dazzle said it's a portal. It's not my thing, so I didn't really know. But
yeah, I didn't use that one that I had come across either. It activated though. So did yours do anything interesting when you were up there?
no, we didn't get it to work. She looks at Dazzle. Dazzle shrugs and he's like, "No, we didn't get it to work."
Interesting. Interesting. Huh. Well, it's good to know more exist, and I'll shut my book and stick it back in my bag.
Okay. She puts her map away.
Very good. Fjordlands. Man, that sounds like an interesting trip. You know, it would be interesting to figure out how to get the portal in that lighthouse to work, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I guess. Dazzle looks at you and he's very interested.
Very interested. You know, Dazzle, I'm pretty interested in it as well. Seems it's very right up my alley. The symbols in the one that I saw were very immaculate. They were carved really well. The building was very nice. You know, it was a really nice place to be.
He leans in and he says, "Yeah, what do you think it does? Like, what do you think they do? Like, what are they for? It could be anything. Like, it could be like, I don't even know. There's so many possibilities. The theories, the possibilities, the speculation, it's endless. What could it be? What are they? I don't know. You've been to one? Were that, not that one, a different one? Which one?"
I don't really know what one it was. I was a little dazed and confused when I was there. That's why I had to draw kind of what I saw to kind of remember it later. I woke up there, I went to sleep there, and I was not there the time before I went to sleep either time. So,
Make a deception check.
deception. 19.
What would that be on the other side of it?
Inside, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. He looks at you, gives you a little bit of a skeptical eye, and then he says, "Okay, all right. Well, listen, if we meet again and you find another one, and like, make sure you take a lot of notes, and we'll compare notes, and we'll figure this stuff out. Like, we could figure this stuff out. Like, who knows what it is? It could be anything."
I'm going to ask him in Gnomish if he took any notes when he was there.
He shows you a sketch of the dials. He shows you the map again, and he found this map. It's got the locations, but his dials have slightly different things on it in between just the locations of the other lighthouses, and they're oriented towards the elements. So air, fire, water, earth.
Okay. I would like to take my notebook back out and hey, Dazzle, do you mind if I copy your drawings down into my notebook?
Yeah, sure. No problem at all.
All right, I'll do that. Take the time to copy his symbols and things that he has into my notebook as well.
Okay. All right. Who else hasn't talked to anyone? Don.
And then all that was left was the Null Queen and the Slaver, and the Slaver's 6 goblins. And then I swung and I cut the Null Queen's head off and the Slaver's whip hand off. And I turned to the goblins and I was like, "Take back your freedom." And I thought they were going to grab the whip, but they grabbed the Null's arm and they beat him to death with it. It was so hilarious. Last I heard, what?
Yeah, Gully the
last
barbarian.
I heard,
Go ahead.
yeah, last I heard, they had tamed a pack of wolves and were riding around in the hills on their wolves, and they're as happy as can be. And it makes me so happy that I could help somebody out, no matter how small they were. And they're very small. They're only like 40 pounds.
What? That's crazy.
So,
oh my God, that's an amazing story.
I know.
Crazy. Oh God.
So what have you guys been up to?
Man, we've seen some shit. We have seen it. we were at this place up north, and we're sitting there. I can trust you, right? Nobody's listening. Listen, we're up there, and we climb a day and a half straight uphill. I swear it was straight uphill. I'm in good shape. Like we're out doing things all the time. I've been in the hills. I've been in the mountains. And I've never been so tired walking straight uphill these fjords for a day and a half. And we get above have you ever been above the clouds?
Once I could not catch my breath.
Oh, so you understand. And then the next thing you know, we're up on this trail, and this boulder as big as this entire building comes flying down at us. Flies. We all dive out of the way. I slide 80 feet downhill. I think I'm going to go over the cliff and into the water, thousands of feet down. We've been climbing for a day and a half. And I finally I use my axe into the ground, and we climb back, and there's this, he looks around, and he whispers, giant. And when I say giant, I don't mean a big guy. I mean, this thing threw a boulder the size of this entire building at us, and we had to go at him. It was us or him, and it was, I can't even explain to you how difficult it was, because we're talking about 70-degree incline, and we're trying to get up on. He's got the high ground on us, and he's got boulders, and he's just throwing them at us, and we got to get to him. And let me tell you something. These guys around here are nice people, but they know what they're doing. They know you can trust them in a firefight. This guy over here, he points at the Elven Ranger talking to Olazani. He's like, this guy never misses. He never misses. He's just like, he's shooting these arrows, and it doesn't look like it's doing anything. Doesn't look like it's doing it. This giant is insanely huge, but it starts slowing down. And it starts running out of these boulders, and now there's smaller rocks being thrown at us, and we're moving around. And let me tell you something. 2 hours later, we had a big old giant rolling down that hill, dead, falling into the water. So you ask what I've been up to? That's what I've been up to.
That's impressive, friend. That's very impressive. If your drinks weren't free, I'd buy you a drink.
I'd buy you a drink.
You can always buy me a drink.
I'm going to buy you a drink.
Some whiskey. Let's drink some whiskey.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Right,
do it.
Sylvia, what are you doing?
I'm feeling a little uneasy because I can't understand what Olazana's saying, so I'm debating casting a spell, but instead I'm going to be nice and hope that she's not revealing too much. And instead, I'm just going to play with minor illusions, just making shadows dance along the walls for a bit.
Talk about misplaced trust.
Yeah, I know. I hate myself. She's trying to be nice and trust this party. She's going to regret that. Oh, is she going to regret that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Dazzle sees what you're doing, gives you a little wink and a nod. You do a perception check.
Okay.
It seems like you're hanging back and sort of watching the crowd.
Yes. That's a 11. So, probably.
Okay. you're doing your dancing lights. You're doing your minor illusion. You're not seeing much else. Is anyone else checking out the crowd? Don is getting drunk with Gully. Who else? Olazana's talking with an elf. Handuk, are you still with Solus, or are you evaluating the crowd?
I go over the astronomical charts with Solus for a little bit, and then I look up into the crowd, and I'm trying to get a feeling of how many Harboronian recruits are here as a percentage.
Yeah, so do an insight check or an investigation.
Investigation. How about an insight check?
Okay.
Nice 16.
Okay. So you're noticing, right? It's not super secret. They in fact they're sort of embracing, just like this place is remodeled to embrace the red theme. They're trying to make like red a thing in this town. So you're getting a sense, probably 5% of the crowd. So maybe 5 or 10 people at most are have some sort of official looking red badge or armor or something official looking. But there's a lot more who are sort of like wearing red in some form or of fashion. So that's, there's sort of like a 30% or so who seem to really sort of be digging the red theme. Sylvia, do another check.
Which check? Investigation.
Do another investigation check. Yep.
Oh, investigation. I like that one. Oh, come on. That's a 10. That's a 10.
Okay. So you see basically what Handuk sees. Tick, anything? Are you still engrossed in your conversation with Dazzle and Belle?
I feel like after copying down the notes and stuff, I would have gone back to kind of looking at my party and around the group.
Okay. Around the room?
Yeah.
Do an investigation check.
15.
Okay. What's your inclination on the sort of lawful, chaotic spectrum?
Of the party that were
No. What's your like default sort of where do you view yourself falling?
more lawful neutral.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So because you're sort of right down the middle, you're seeing a little bit of interesting dynamics at play here. So you see this sort of like rah-rah, joiny, this is cool. Everyone agree that a tragedy happened. Red side. And then there's this like other, there's much fewer, there's only a few. Sort of other people that are being very quiet, very observant. And you notice like if they reach out to grab their, for example, you see one reaches out to grab their mug of ale, and you see a tattoo on their wrist. And there's only a few of those, but you do notice them.
Am I able to make out the tattoo?
No.
Okay. So since I have my journal out, I'll kind of take notes of what I see as I look around the room.
Okay.
Very like incognito about what I'm doing as I make notes.
Okay.
So the people don't know. Interesting. So definitely a political divide. I'll mumble this out loud to myself. Interesting. Definitely political divide. Some don't like it. Some maybe wish more would have happened. Just harbor on. Red. Interesting.
You say that out loud.
Very quiet, like kind of under my breath, like when somebody's talking to themselves, sort of thing, like mumbling out loud, like gnomes. How when they're like thinking, they're working, they're thinking out loud, right?
Yeah.
So you're insulting everybody around you.
Nobody notices. Nobody notices that you said it. So a little bit too under your breath. Handuk.
Yes, I'm starting to see the situation here as
Someone actually when you let's say you get up for a second.
yes, I have to go to the bathroom every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
My bladder is the size of a grape.
Yeah, while you're in line for the alleyway, someone behind you says, "I gotta admire you. I really do. I gotta admire you. You're staying fit."
To me?
Yeah, to you. You're vibrant.
Me? I am so old.
Relax. Nah, but you're vibrant. You're vibrant. You're still what would I say? You're just a viable person still. It makes me so sad to see those people just sort of linger. Do you know what I mean?
Who do you speak of? The matrions?
I mean, we don't have to get loud, right? There's a lot of people lingering. You're living. I can tell. I can just tell by looking at you. You're still living. There's a lot of people lingering. You know what I mean?
What's this guy look like here?
All right. So he's thin. He's wiry. He's young. He's got a tattoo on his neck. And he's wearing dark clothes. He's not wearing red.
Not wearing red. Okay. So he's not drinking the Kool-Aid as far as I can see. The red Kool-Aid.
And again, the red thing is like 30% or so.
Okay. Yes. I'm living, and I see you're living your own life as well.
Let me ask you something, just between us. Did you take the oath?
Yes.
You did.
Yes.
Do you ever regret it? Do you ever wonder why? You do.
Yes.
Listen, if you ever wanted a different way, let me know. There is a different way.
Oh,
if you ever get to the point where you feel like you're lingering and not living, just let me know.
Yes, but the way is path. If the path is clear, the orbits have aligned, and the Star Child will bring me closer to God, and my soul will be free, and the joyful end is coming. Have you ever heard of the joyful end?
Shh.
Yes.
He pulls you away into the alleyway around a corner. What are you doing? Don't say that word.
Oh, yes. What? Tell me. What is the meaning of this? I've spoken to the Star God, and he's told me this is the way I must purify my soul. Have you been sent here by the Star God?
Listen. Where did you hear that word? You heard that word from your God?
Yes, the Star God. The one who makes all things go round and round.
I don't know anything about that, but what I do know is, listen, we have a major problem. The joyful end is an organization, and we're trying to save this world.
Isn't every organization trying to save this world, my friend? Isn't the Red Guard here to save us all?
You don't understand.
From the forest. I mean, this is madness. These political factions, you're going to get us all killed. The Matrians suck the suffering out of their very population, and you want me to somehow. But no, you talk about the joyful end, I'm interested.
That's my point. Matria is building suffering.
Yes.
We have a way. We have a way. We have to get people to renounce the oath before they die. We must.
Yes.
If you want to know, come to this place. And he hands you a little piece of paper and disappears.
All right, I take the paper and I hide it in my cloak. And I go over to Olazana and I start whispering in her ear and I tell her about what's going on.
Okay.
And I tell the whole party of the entire night.
All right. While you're on your way back, Tick, do another investigation check. I'm sorry, not Tick, Sylvia.
Okay. That's a 15.
All right. Here's what you hear a couple of people that are in like official Red Guard uniforms talking to sort of a fanboy who's dressed in a lot of red. It's very much like an amateur, but really into the whole scene. And you hear them talking, and the one guard says, "Listen, if you can find them, and you can bring them to us at the garrison, we will pay 50 gold for every Joyful End member that you can capture. And if you want to make it, and you want to really get on the radar and join the Red Guard, that's how you do it. You'll get on our radar. We'll get your name up to the boss, and he might just put you into our fast track. It's definitely the way. But also there's a ton of money in it. That's what you hear.
I'm not exactly happy about that.
Now, weren't the Joyful End, weren't they the self-emulation people?
No, they're not. Those are the Asperonian monks.
Who was the Joyful
I
End?
will. Sorry, I'm going to beg my friend's excuse and say that I need to go and speak with Handuk and tell him just to be certain that none of them swear the oath.
All right, so here's what you guys mill about throughout the night. You talk to people. Here's what you collect. The Joyful End are an organization that convinces older residents to release themselves from the Matrian Oath. They have a way to for people to release themselves from the Matrian Oath and accept a peaceful death. The Joyful End then do release these people from life and give them a peaceful death. So this is a termination point, but they are released from the oath. The Red Guard have placed a bounty of 50 gold on the head of each confirmed Joyful End member. The Joyful End are very concerned about the mothers, and they confirm what you guys already know, that the mothers are a group of powerful hags who feed on the despair and misery of the elderly and infirmed, and are based in Matria.
Where do they derive their power from? Where does the joyful end derive their power? Do they have a god?
No, it. Well, do you look at the piece of paper?
Yeah.
Okay. It says, if you want to know more, the entrance is at the back room of the Bungler's Court. The password is found in the song performed by Belvoca at the Mounted Mule. And with that, we're going to end the evening.